Hey YouTube, welcome to the Subprime to Prime YouTube channel. Here, our focus is to get you from subprime to prime, and that all starts with knowing where you want to go on your financial journey. This is for information and educational purposes only and is not intended to be financial or legal advice. Alright, let's get into it. Today's video, we're going to talk about credit reports, and I just kind of pulled off a sample credit report from the Self website. Not all credit reports are in this exact layout, but this one, as I was looking through it, does have all the elements that we kind of need just so we can get a quick view and explain exactly what you're looking for in a credit report and how you want to navigate, beginning to set up your profile for success. Okay, so on every credit report, there is your personal information. Now, across all three major credit bureaus, this information may have variances. And what you want to do and what your job is when you're really, hammering down and making sure that things are correct, what you're going to do is you're going to make sure every area is correct. Your name. Now, there can be variations of your name. You can have John Doe, or you can have John R. Doe, or you can have John Reginald Doe. Now, you want to make sure that whatever your name, first and last, middle initial, middle name is, that it is congruent across all three of the major credit reporting agencies, meaning Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. So you kind of want to make sure they're all the same on each of those. Your date of birth has to be accurate. If it's the wrong month, wrong date, year, this is something you definitely need to correct and make sure that it is the exact same on all reports. Now, some reports are going to contain multiple addresses. The best recourse for this is to have the address that matches your driver's license. So if your driver's license is current to where you live right now, that's actually kind of perfect. So you want that driver's license to reflect where you currently live. And I mean, that's the best case scenario. Sometimes that's, not the case, but in any event, you want to make sure that they're reporting one address. Sometimes it's a little difficult to have them updated to reflect an address that's your current permanent address, but it absolutely can be done. And your social security number, typically on a credit report, sometimes they'll have the last four, but it usually should never have all of the digits on it. In this example here, they're just kind of giving, the typical 9 digits that a social security number is, but they're never supposed to really display the whole thing on the report. And if it's incorrect, then, that's a major red flag and should be corrected immediately. Now, like I said, sometimes it'll have previous addresses, but it shouldn't have a whole list of addresses that you've lived, where you've lived. It should have basically the one to keep things congruent, to make your credit report nice and neat and tidy. So if they have extra addresses, try and get them removed if at all possible. They'll have your work history, your employer name, and typically your hire date is on some, but not on all. But it does have previous employers, and that too can have multiple employers. That one's fine. I mean, people have had multiple jobs and a longer work history than others, but you want to try and make sure that they say the same thing across all three major reporting agencies. And the position, it doesn't really matter. It looks good when it's when you're going for different types of credit, they kind of want to know what you do so that they can assess, like, typically what's the pay for that position or whatnot. And then the date reported. This will vary from time to time based on how recent the job is, how recent you named that particular job as your source of income, and that sort of thing. And next is the public records section. If you've ever had or had to file for bankruptcy, or you've got a lien or a judgment against you, collections, those will be here in the public records section. And this is an area where if you want to work to get these items removed. Now, keep in mind, with regards to accurate information on your credit report, if it's inaccurate. But I can assure you that just about anything can be removed so long as it has legal standing to be removed. And bankruptcies and liens and those things are not immune to getting removed from your credit report. But you'll have to speak to a professional credit repairer to assess that on your report. But you don't want these showing, because this is a red flag for most lenders and people who are, you're trying to get any kind of funding or loans from, or credit cards of any kind. You'll want to make sure this is cleaned up. Okay, your account information is the next section. And then you'll want to make sure the accounts that are in this section actually are yours. If they are not, they need to be eliminated immediately. And as you're going down, you're making sure that the car loan that they're stating on here is yours. It's in good standing. Everything on your credit report needs to be in good standing, or in a paid as agreed type of status. No lates and past dues. And that's if you're going for, like I said, any additional funding or any kind of loans or things like that. Which, if you're actually really building out your credit profile, that's kind of the goal, to be able to get long-term financing for things in the future. So you'll want to make sure that this is all cleaned up and everything is congruent with each and every account on your profile. Okay? Now, next, aside from the account information and making sure those are all accurate and correct, we're going to go see inquiries. Inquiries are simply the event of a company or some kind of creditor looking into your credit report to see if you're credit worthy. And you'll want to keep these to a minimum. Only apply when you absolutely need to. And, if you are in a situation where right now you don't need any credit cards, you don't need any loans, that's great. Stay in what we call the gardening stage of your credit, where you're not applying for any new credit, and you're simply letting the credit that you have currently age and season. So when it's time to go for, a higher level credit card or a personal loan or a home repair loan or something like that, you can absolutely, have, the assurance that those inquiries have fallen off. And if you have too many on your credit report, it really looks like you're really searching and trying to get credit. So overall, that's kind of what we're looking for when we're checking out a credit report. So you'll want to make sure that everything is congruent across all three bureaus. You're going to want to make sure all of your public records are assessed, and any negative or derogatories are removed. Like I said, you can go for a professional credit repair company. There are a few reputable ones out, but in all aspects, credit repair companies can be a very slippery slope. The major majority of them are trash. They just intend on, stringing you along for a long time with little to no results. Some do work, some have worked for other people, and I cannot say don't use them, because they can be an asset to get things removed from your credit report that aren't supposed to be there. But I would seriously vet them. And in our VIP platform on School, Subprime to Prime, we go in depth on how you can get more trustworthy credit repair. I am not a credit repair specialist, but on the platform we can show you a few that can help you out. And if you like the information, please take the time to like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Thanks.